Hey, what is up, you guys? It is Tyler. Welcome back to the Tyler Williams channel, and welcome to week 2 of the Wednesday Night Wars review. Guys, we just got off of NXT and All Elite Wrestling Dynamite last night. Both were really good shows. One was better than the other. Which one do I think it was? Well, stay tuned to find out. Last week, I did my first Wednesday Night War review, and it was a very, different type of video than I usually do. I wanted to try doing one of my normal, style videos this week and see how that does. Maybe you guys could comment down below which style you prefer more. Just to get a grasp for if you guys rather, have the video come out later, but, look visually more appealing, or come out earlier just to hear my opinion. I just want to see where the demographic stands for you guys. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the Wednesday Night War reviews. First, we're going to start off with NXT. Review that whole show first. Then review AEW's whole show first. And then at the end, I'm going to compare it to contrast, tell you guys which show I thought was better. So, starting off NXT, we had Lio Rush versus Drew Gulak. This was a great match. This is probably, I would say, the best match on NXT all week. And probably the second best match of the entire night. It was just all action from the very get-go. And I came into this match with the mindset of Lio Rush. He had all that controversy when he left WWE, and well, he didn't leave WWE. He was just, kind of put on a sabbatical, as Vince McMahon once said about CM Punk. When he was off, I'll say that much. He left on some controversy, and I was like, okay, well, if he's just come back, I don't think I'll put that on him, because if you think about it, Sasha Banks was gone from WWE for a while. She came back, and she had 2 title matches against Becky Lynch, and she lost both of them. So I'm like, okay, well, this is Lio Rush's first title attempt. He probably will lose this one, but get it back sometime in the near future. So I went in with that mindset, and the match itself was really good. There's one spot in here which I thought was really dangerous, but really cool at the same time, where they were on the top rope for like a suplex spot. But, like, they were on opposite sides of the turnbuckle, so the only way they could have suplexed each other is if they suplexed outside of the ring, which would have been super dangerous, and I thank God they didn't do that. But they're punching each other. Lio Rush kind of knocks Drew Gulak onto the apron, and Drew Gulak drop kicks Lio Rush off of the apron, and he falls onto these security guards who are sitting on chairs, and I'm like, ow. That like it hurt. Drew Gulak is such a prodigy in wrestling. The way he combines one take, all I'm doing. The way he combines. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Combines power and technical wrestling all in one. At least in this match, because he doesn't do it in every match where he shows off his power. But in this match, Lio Rush is the lighter weight, and he's the spotty one, if I could say that word. So he kind of combined all those to kind of put out the contrast in Lio Rush's moveset. Towards the end of this match, they're in a suplex position where Lio Rush kind of had him on the top rope this time. And Drew Gulak is punching him, and Lio Rush sends him up the top rope, and he hits a frog splash. Now, I know Lio Rush's finisher is a frog splash, but listen, man, when I saw him hit that frog splash, I immediately thought of the high fly flow. I don't know what it is about Hiroshi Tanahashi's frog splash, his high fly flow, that looks so different than everyone else's. I don't know I think it's his formation. The formation of the frog splash Lio Rush hit was that of the high fly flow Tanahashi hits. So when he hit that, I didn't say it on stream, but I was thinking, high fly flow! Stop. But he hit this frog splash. Drew Gulak gets up. Lio Rush then hits a springboard cutter. I forgot what he calls it. He hits a springboard cutter, then hits another frog splash. This one looks more like his. Onto Drew Gulak and gets the pin. Lio Rush is now your new NXT Cruiserweight Champion. I was shocked. Did not expect him to win, but can't be mad at the result either. I like Lio Rush. I try to separate the wrestler from their opinions sometimes. And if you take away all the stuff he said in the past, I think he's a damn good wrestler. So I'm not at all mad at this result. Lio Rush, new champion after the match. Real Regal gets in the ring to try to congratulate Lio Rush, but Drew Gulak gets in the ring, and he's all angry. He takes the title away from Lio Rush, and I'm like, oh, damn, all right. Let me guess. Drew Gulak is going to hand the title back to him and shake his hand. And that's what he just does. They do this all the time in wrestling where the heel is like all dejected and angry, but then it's a fake and he shakes his hand. Like, they do this not all the time, but they do it so often in wrestling that you could kind of just see it coming depending on who the wrestler is. It's like Drew Gulak doesn't seem like the type of petty heel, so he's going to shake his hand. But that being said, we'll then get into another promo from Tegan Nox. So she's going to be returning next week on NXT. So I can't wait for that. We didn't get Rhea Ripley versus Aaliyah. It was pretty much a squash match. Rhea Ripley threw Aaliyah around. And her finisher. I'm a fan of Rhea Ripley's new finisher. I don't know what her old finisher, or remember what her old finisher was. I think it was was it the Tiger Driver? I don't remember what Rhea Ripley's old finisher was, honestly. But her new finisher, I'm a fan of. So basically, she has... Now, I'm thinking that she only did this because Aaliyah is so light compared to all the rest of the women on the roster. So she has Aaliyah kind of like in this glam slam position. Like she's lifting up her glam slam. But she clutches her legs in like this double leg clutch submission. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what the technical name for that submission is. But I wanted to really badly call it the Lucky 13. But the Lucky 13 is when you have your legs kind of like putting pressure on the ankle. That's not the Lucky 13. If anyone knows what her finisher is called, please comment it down below so I could properly call it that next week when she uses it, or whenever she's back on NXT TV. But she has that applied on Aaliyah, and she's standing up, and Aaliyah is like just dangling, and then she starts spinning her around, which is just such a cool sight to see, and just slams her down in like a glam slam kind of move. Back into the submission, and Aaliyah taps out. Big fan of the finishing move. On the mic, she announces that she's coming for Shayna Baszler, even though she technically lost to Shayna Baszler. But once again, Shayna Baszler didn't pin her, make her tap out. So I guess that's kind of the outs they have into a rematch. I could buy into that at a takeover. I could see it. I don't know when the next NXT takeover is, because I hear that their NXT TakeOver schedule is going to be changing up very soon, so we'll see what happens there. After this, we get Breezango versus what we thought was going to be Everrise. Now, I was shocked that we saw Everrise for a second week, because they look like a jobber tag team to me. Then again, I said the same thing. One take. But then again, I said the same thing about the Revival when they debuted back in 2016. I said, they look like jobbers. And then they became one of the best tag teams to ever come out of NXT. Sad what happened to them on the main roster, but in NXT in 2016, the Revival, DIY, AOP, they tore the damn house down every takeover back in 2016. I would say everyone talks about how amazing tag team wrestling is for AEW right now, but I don't think really maybe AEW can. The tag team tournament just started, we'll see. But 2016 NXT, that tag team division was on fire, and it was like can't miss television. That was back when I was starting to phase out from NXT, but still had my interest for all the takeovers. But nonetheless, getting back on topic here. Man, back on topic. So I thought it was gonna be Everrise, but instead it was the Forgotten Sons. We have Gunner. I don't know if his name is Gunner in NXT or not. But he comes out with both men of Everrise, and this brings out Forgotten Sons, Steve Cutler, Wesley Blake. We get a tag team match out of Breezango and the Forgotten Sons. I honestly on the live stream, the Wednesday Night War live stream I did yesterday, I forgot all about the Forgotten Sons, so I guess they live up to their name. The match was nothing special. It was kind of just there. It was really the dead space of the show. At the end, the Forgotten Sons hit their sidewalk slam, though foot stomp tag team finisher on the Fandango, and got the pin. So Forgotten Sons win this match. After this, we got the match Cameron Grimes versus Boa. I looked at it and I said, I wonder what's going to happen here. Maybe Cameron Grimes just, stomps Boa and wins the match. And that's basically this match. I'm confused. I'm confused. Didn't Jordan Miles win this NXT Breakout Star Tournament? How come it seems like Cameron Grimes is getting the push? I mean, I know Jordan Miles got the NXT Championship match. I know. He got a championship match against Adam Cole on TV. But the winner of the tournament should be the one getting pushed. Cameron Grimes was the runner-up. He should not be getting this much damn time. And I'm not knocking Cameron Grimes. He's a good wrestler. He's an odd character, but he's a good wrestler. I just think that the winner should be getting this spot, not the runner-up. That's just how I feel when it comes to tournaments, at least. Match starts. Cameron Grimes does a stomp. In his best Brock Lesnar impression, just pins Boa and wins the match. As this match is happening, Killian Dane is like running down the ramp. Not running. He's storming the ramp. He gets in the ring to go after Cameron. Cameron runs away. This leads him to lay out Boa for no apparent reason. And, yeah, that was that. We didn't get into the next match. Roderick Strong versus Isaiah Scott. I thought this was a damn good match for these two men. If there was any denial, which I'm sure there's none, that Roderick Strong is one of the best wrestlers in WWE, this match was just goes to show. Like, this man is so impressive. The way he's able to innovate backbreakers from really any position while delivering stiff chops. I mean, this man... I still remember from the Greatest Royal Rumble, which was the first and only Saudi Arabia show I ever watched from WWE, when he entered in that match and he went toe-to-toe with Daniel Bryan. I still remember the teeth-shattering chops he delivered to Daniel Bryan and just how pink and purple and red his chest was after Roderick was done with Daniel Bryan. Like, after that match, I always feared Roderick Strong's chops, and this is no different. He still has those shotgun chops. Like, people talk Ric Flair. Roderick Strong has the best chops in wrestling right now. Don't care what everybody says. Fight me on that. Just the way he's able to deliver those stiff chops and really keep the pace of any opponent he has, whether it's like a fast and quick opponent like Isaiah Scott or like a slow, methodical opponent. Like, he kind of keeps up with them and kind of, not, I don't want to say keeps, like, kind of puts them down to his level because he's not down, but like, he matches with them and he gels with just about anybody he's in the ring with. And that's why, like, if you ask me who's my favorite wrestler out of UE, I would tell you it's Roderick Strong. Like, I love Adam Cole to death, and Adam Cole is awesome, but Roderick Strong just always has been one of my favorites in NXT. Isaiah Scott, too. Isaiah Scott is one of the best black wrestlers in wrestling today. And they had a really good match. There's one really cool spot in here where Roddy was on the outside of the ring. Like, he was sitting on the apron. At this point, Undisputed Era was on the ramp, just kind of watching. You knew they were going to interfere at some point, right? They were kind of just watching. Roderick Strong is sitting on the apron. I forgot how he got there, but Roderick Strong gets super kicked in the face by Isaiah Scott, and Roddy just starts dangling. Like, his feet are on the bottom rope, and he's just dangling in position. And Isaiah Scott slingshots himself outside the ring and stomps onto Roderick Strong, which I thought was a dope-ass spot. There were so many other ones in this match from Isaiah Scott and Roderick Strong that I can't call. It's definitely a match you should check out. Match continues a little bit more. A distraction from UE leads to an end of heartache from Roderick Strong, and he makes Isaiah Scott tap out with the Stronghold. I would say, Lion Saber. Yeah, Stronghold. So, Roderick Strong wins the match. After the match, Velveteen Dream appears on this stage platform. Not the stage, not the ramp, but like, it's kind of like this stage platform that's like on the adjacent side of the ring. Not adjacent, but like on the other, like on the right side of the ring. It's kind of there for like the broadcast team to speak from. Like, we see Kathy Kelly there sometimes. Anyway, Velveteen Dream appears on that stage, and he's talking about how he's going to show Roderick Strong his reality. He picks up and he like puts on screen this picture of Roderick Strong naked with the NXT North American Championship covering his lower half. And I saw that picture on Instagram and Twitter like a few weeks ago, but they put it up on the screen. I thought that was like pretty funny. He starts to continue cut the promo saying that he will be challenging Roderick Strong in a rematch for the North American Championship in 2 weeks. Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks from now, not next week. And he said he's going to show the world why Roderick Strong doesn't measure up to the Velveteen Dream. He snaps his fingers, and we see Roderick Strong now completely naked. His crotch is blurred out, but you could obviously see they photoshopped to make it look like Roderick Strong has a small dick. Basically saying that, you know, dick measuring contest joke. Which I thought that was kind of funny, but nothing really substantial. People were marking about this, making a big deal of it. I thought it was kind of shocking that they got away with this, being it was a PG show, but that was really shocking more than anything. After this, like immediately after this, you hear Tommaso Ciampa's theme song hit. He comes out with his crutch, gets in the ring, he exits, he gets a chair, sits in the ring, gets a microphone, and says, "Goldie, Daddy's home." So we're going to be getting Tommaso Ciampa versus not Finn Balor. I was going to talk about Finn Balor in a second, but Tommaso Ciampa versus Adam Cole for the NXT Championship soon. But Finn Balor did get a promo package earlier in the night, and he appeared on NXT on last week. So I guess that kind of means he's getting his NXT Championship kind of later, and not right away since he was on NXT this week, and we don't know when he's coming back yet. But I'm really amped for whenever they're doing Tommaso Ciampa versus Adam Cole. Can't wait for that. We then get Dakota Kai versus Bianca Belair. This is a good match between these two women. Bianca Belair ended up finishing off Dakota Kai with her KOD and got the pin. I was a little disappointed because Dakota Kai just returned last week. You would have thought that, they would give her a win and have her get some momentum going, but they just ended it right here. I'm like, oh, all right. I guess she's not getting a championship match anytime soon. I guess I was wrong on that prediction. Anyway, so after the match, Bianca Belair hops on the microphone, and she's saying how she heard that Rhea Ripley wants a crack at Shayna Baszler. Girl. She's saying that she wants a crack at Shayna Baszler too, and if she wants a crack at Shayna, she's going to have to go through Bianca Belair. I am here for Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Let's go. That leads us to the main event. Kushida versus Walter. I loved everything about this David Goliath battle between Kushida and Walter. Walter powering over Kushida and chopping the hell out of him and punching him in the chest and just trying to throw him all over the place. But Kushida using his speed to I wouldn't say outwork. I just don't want to use the word pace again. But outwit Walter. Running circles around him. There's one really cool spot where Walter was kind of on the apron and Kushida managed to hop off the apron and drop kick him right in the feet. It kind of had him kneeling and then DDT'd him onto the outside. That was a really innovative and cool spot. And I just really like this match. I don't want to call too many spots from it, but one of the most intense parts of this match was when Kushida had Walter on the top rope for like a suplex spot. And Walter's like chopping him and trying to get him down. But he arm drags Walter off the top rope into his Kimura finisher. And he's in this submission for at least a good 20-30 seconds. And Walter is just struggling. And you're like, oh my God, is he going to tap? There's no way Walter's about to tap out. But I love the way Walter teased tapping out here. Because there was two spots in here that I really liked. Walter had his hand free. And you could see him tap the back of Kushida twice. But he technically didn't tap out. And he's teasing it and he starts doing it. I'm like, oh, he's tapping. And he's not. I'm like, oh, damn, he's technically not tapping. And then, he has his hand up and he's, kind of, beating on the mat. And I'm like, ref, he's tapping. I'm like, oh, damn it, he's technically not tapping out. That spot, I loved it. I love that spot. So he's teasing it. He doesn't tapping out. He gets out of it. He hits a powerbomb on Kushida, which I didn't understand because Kushida was just targeting the arm the whole time. He hits a powerbomb onto Kushida. Kushida kicks out. Great near fall. He gets Kushida up. Hits a ripcord lariat. Rainmaker. Onto Kushida. And gets the pin. Walter winning this match in the main event. Really good show by NXT. Move on to AEW Dynamite. We get Private Party versus the Young Bucks. Oh my God. This match was great. This was the best match of both shows. Hands down, end of story. We've been saying, you've been hearing about how AEW's tag team division is just untouchable, and this match proved it. We got the first taste of what Private Party can offer at All Out when they challenged Angelico and Jack Evans. And, it was a spot fest. That's all it was. And it really showed just the athleticism of Private Party and what they can do in the ring. And going into this match, we all know just how as great as they are, how spotty the Young Bucks can be. You're expecting it to be a spot fest, if anything. And I would say it was some really good ones in this match, but it wasn't to the point where it got ridiculous. And that's what I appreciate about this match. It didn't get ridiculous with the high flying. There was a lot, but it didn't get to a point where I was getting annoyed. Like, at All Out, I accepted that was the match, so I didn't get annoyed. But, like, you can sometimes get kind of bothered with how many flips and shit they do, unless you don't get bothered by that kind of stuff. I do sometimes. That's just me. But, they had a lot of tag team dynamic in this match, and of course the Young Bucks, they're one of the greatest tag teams in the world. I know a lot of people might argue me on that, but they are one of, not the. Let's not take my word out of context there. I said one of. For any of you looking for a fight in the comments. Pirate Party and Young Bucks, they had really great chemistry in this match. I don't want to call too many spots because I want all of you to do yourself a favor and go watch this match. Whether you DVR'd it, whether you gotta finally watch it on TNT, Go, or whatever, watch this match, please. There were so many dope near fall spots, and just everything in this match just made it great. Towards the end, I will say the finish. Matt and Nick Jackson go for some move. Matt's kind of on the apron, sitting down, and Nick Jackson is getting him in position for something. Isaiah Cassidy hits a Poison Rana on Nick Jackson, and then he takes Matt off the rope with a Hurricane Rana into a cutter from Mark Quinn. Mark Quinn then gets to the top rope and hits a shooting star press on him at Nick Jackson. He goes for the pin, 1, 2, and he kicks out. I was like, what the fuck? Like, they were still going. This match went at least a good 17, 18 minutes. I was shocked. It didn't go too much longer. I think probably like at least 20 seconds later. Matt Jackson starts to bounce back. He goes for like a, I don't know if he's going for a tombstone or what, but he had Mark Quinn down on the mat, and he had his arms clutched up like he was rolling him into a tombstone spot. But Mark Quinn countered it into a roll-up and got the pin. So Private Party wins this match and moves on to the quarterfinals, or I think semifinals. The semifinals of the AEW Tag Team Tournament. The right team won, and I could not be any happier with this match. Can't wait to see if they face JE or Lucha Brothers next week. I'll give my thoughts on that match in my preview for Week 3 of Wednesday Night Wars next Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. After this, we got a Chris Jericho promo. He came out with his goons, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, and LAX. He established that their names are the Inner Circle, which, cool name. He's going down the line of all of his members saying, oh, we have Sammy Guevara, a Spanish god, a great upcomer, and all this kind of stuff. We have LAX, my squad, my goons, my gangbangers, my ride or dies, the best tag team in wrestling. And we have Jake Hagar. He was calling him Jake Hagar. And I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, even though there's an E in his name, so R would not sound right because it's not it's not Hagar. So Hagar doesn't sound correct. Well, maybe that's how you say it. Maybe I'll have to listen to an interview with Jake Hager and see how he pronounces his own name. But anyway, he's talking about Jake Hagar, and I'm not calling him that, Jake Hager, and the crowd is chanting "We the People," as people always do when you see Jack Swagger. We the People chants start up, and Jericho says, "We the People sucks and it's dead and buried," and the crowd pops huge for this. I kind of just sat there and was like, okay, that was cool, I guess. Calling out WWE creative, I guess, Then he goes on to say it was stupid idea and bad creative, and that's all gone. That part I was like, all right. Let's not make a thing where we take shots at WWE every chance we get, because that's just Bush League, honestly. Like, when he said that first comment, I was like, okay, that's cool. When he said the second part, I was like, eh. Like, it just sounds so Bush League of them to say shit like this. Like, you don't see NXT taking shots at AEW every chance they get. So I feel like AEW should really not be doing this. Every once in a blue moon, okay. But, like, every other week, no. Nah, it's not. I mean, to the AEW hardcores and to maybe the indie hardcores, and I wouldn't say I'm not one of them. It's cool, fine and dandy, but to me, I'm just like, well, it's cheap pop. It's a cheap pop, honestly. Anyway, He says what he has to say, but then he keeps going, and he says, "These are my guys. This is my inner circle." And I said, all right, great promo. But then he kept going. He went off like a good minute and a half talking about how Cody sucks and this, and Dusty Rhodes never liked him, and he starts shitting on the Elite, and I'm like, he says, "I'm going to beat the shit out of Cody," and I was just like, they let shit fly on TNT? That's cool, but this promo dragged. Like, if he would have ended it at, "This is the inner circle, you're welcome," I would have been fine with this promo. It would have been great. But I felt like after that point, when he was talking about Cody, he was talking about Dustin, I'm like, you could have saved this for next week. It just seemed like he started talking just to talk. But I love Chris Jericho. I'm not going to knock him too much. I just thought the promo dragged a little bit. Still a good promo from him. After this, we didn't get Jimmy Havoc versus Darby Allin. The match was okay, to be honest. I mean, it was pretty slow paced for most of it. They cut to like 1 or 2 commercial breaks during the match, and it really seemed like it never really started to pick up. Like, it just kind of seemed like it stayed at one pace the whole time. Towards the end, Jimmy Havoc went for his ass Rainmaker, but Darby Allin started biting his hand, which I thought was cool. You know, Darby Allin always doing his, like, daredevil shit, which I think everyone's come to love about that guy. Soon after this, he ends up getting Darby Allin. He ends up getting himself. He ends up... one take! All I'm doing, guys. He ends up getting Jimmy Havoc down. He hits his coffin drop, or his trust fall as I call it, onto Jimmy Havoc. Gets the pin. As I predicted, Darby Allin will be challenging Chris Jericho next week in Philadelphia for the AEW Championship. Can't wait. Gonna be a good match. I still don't think Darby Allin has a chance in hell of beating him, but it's gonna be a good match nonetheless. We then get Britt Baker and Rio versus Emi Sakura. Imai Sakura. Or is it Imai? I think it's Emi Sakura. I'm going to call her Sakura because I don't know how to pronounce Emi, whatever. Emi Sakura versus and Bea Priestley. Decent match. Rio and Emi Sakura started off the match, and I thought that set a really good tone for it. That teacher versus student dynamic. And you got Emi kind of like throwing her around and kind of just like playing with her at some points. Like, I'm still your teacher, and I'm still better than you. And she wasn't... I wouldn't say she was playing a heel, even though she kind of was playing a heel. But you want to see Riho come back and win. And that's what I love about Riho. Riho's like so small, so tiny. She plays that babyface underdog hero role very well. And that's why I think it was a great choice going with Riho as the first ever AEW Women's Champion. Bea Priestley got a ring with Britt Baker at some points, and it was some good stuff. I felt like in this match, you could... And this is not a knock on Britt Baker. She's a good wrestler, but you could tell that of the 4, Britt Baker was the weakest link. Like, Bea Priestley, I've seen matches of hers before. She's great. She definitely holds back some when she's in the ring with Britt Baker because she doesn't want to, like, you know, outshine her, I think. But when they were in the ring, they were having some good stuff. Then they tagged out and got outside the ring, and they were battling it out. Now, what annoyed me about this match was that Emi Sakura and Riho were the legal women in this match. Teacher-student. Important stuff. However, it seemed like all the focus was on Bea Priestley and Britt Baker. Like, they were the legal women in the match, Riho and Sakura, but the camera was on Bea and Britt Baker battling on the outside, and I'm like, what? Why is the camera on them? What they're doing doesn't matter. Like, I get they're the main feud between the two, but let's put the action back in the ring. Like, I could kind of see what's going on in the corner of my eye, but I didn't care about the brawl outside the ring. But anyway, at the end of the match, it was Britt Baker putting down Emi Sakura with her Rings of Saturn Mandible Claw combination that made her tap out. So Britt Baker and Rio won the match. They're really putting a lot of stock in the Britt Baker and Bea Priestley feud, and I'll be honest, I don't really care that much for it. So... Alright. Maybe I need some time to warm to it. Right now, I don't care for it. I don't really care. We then got Jon Moxley versus Shawn Spears. Decent match. Pac was on... Pac was on commentary. He brought up that he should be the one in the ring since he's undefeated. And I didn't deny this at all. Not at all. Not too much happened in this match, honestly. A lot of people look forward to this. This is Jon Moxley's AEW debut, since technically his match against Joey Janela was unsanctioned, so the match in record books never happened. I mean, if you're looking for his New Japan type matches, this was not it. And maybe it was because he was in the ring with Shawn Spears, and I never thought Shawn Spears was that great of a wrestler, and their chemistry just wasn't there. But the match really wasn't anything special. Jon Moxley, the paradigm shift on to Shawn Spears, got the pin. After the match, he's walking up the ramp, and you see Kenny Omega come out with a barbed wire bat in one hand and a barbed wire broomstick in the other, paying more homage to the cleaner gimmick he used in New Japan. He hands Jon Moxley, or throws him the barbed wire bat, and he's like, come on, let's do this. Stupid decision. Pac runs from behind with a chair and clocks Kenny Omega right in the back of the head. AEW doesn't learn. And you have Jon Moxley standing over him with the barbed wire bat, thinking about hitting him. Decides against it. Like, no, I want to beat you on my own merits. And he walks away. So they're really building up the Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega feud, and I like that. They're keeping that consistent. Then we get to the main event. Hangman Page and Dustin Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho. This was a good match. It was really cool seeing Dustin Rhodes and Chris Jericho go at it from the start. When was the last time these two even faced off against each other? It had to have been at least since the early 2000s. I don't remember them ever facing off in the last 5 or so years, so it had to be then. But it was really cool seeing them in a ring with each other. Sammy Guevara and Hangman Page, they had some good stuff in here. I want to see Singles Match 2 knows too bad. They would seem like they would tear it up if you give them a good 10 or so minutes. Towards the end of this match, Dustin went for a Shadow Dreams on the Jericho, but Jake Hagar got in the ring, and I called him Hagar again. Damn it, Jericho. And he hits a clothesline on the Dustin. Now, referee's back is turned, but at the very last second, you could see the referee turn his head, and you could clear as day see the referee see Jake Hagar leaving the ring. He didn't see him clothesline Dustin, but you could see him see Jake Hagar leave the ring. And I'm like, DQ. Maybe these referees were trained by Red Shoes, so they're more lenient. I'm not sure. But this is the second week in a row where I feel like someone should have been disqualified and it didn't happen. I'm just saying. I understand it was supposed to not be seen, but the referee did see it. So, whatever. In the end, though, that clothesline played into the finish where Chris Jericho hit a Judas Effect on the Dustin Rhodes and got the pin. I'm really liking the Judas Effect and that it's a one-hit move, and once it's hit, it's over. It's going to be even crazier when someone finally kicks out of it. Who will it be? Hopefully it's not Cody. I need them to keep that move strong for at least a good year until someone kicks out of it. I don't think Cody should be kicking out of it. I don't think anybody that should really be kicking out of that move, at least until Chris Jericho drops the title. And he's not dropping it to Cody. At least I don't think so, and I hope not. But anyway, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara win this match. After the match, start beating down Dustin. A good minute passes by, and I'm sitting here like, damn, well, Cody, you going to come out and help your brother soon? Like, he was getting beat down for a good minute before he came out. Cody did come out. He supported his brother, went straight at Jericho, but he got beat down. This brought out MJF, who had a chair in his hand. LAX was out of the ring at this time. Were they? I don't remember. So MJF comes down with the chair, and he's teasing hitting Cody Rhodes as LAX just kind of just has him up like, hey, hit Cody. And the crowd's like, oh shit, this is the turn. But then he goes straight at LAX with the chair, and the crowd pops huge for this. And you would have thought MJF was one of the biggest baby faces in the company the way they pop for this moment. MJF is just like basking in the crowd's cheers, and I'm just loving this. And after this, he gets beat down. And this brings out the Young Bucks. They go at LAX. They're going at each other. Jericho just totally abandons ships and leaves all of the Inner Circle to get beat down. He's walking up the ramp, looking at the ring. And we see what had to be one of the greatest moments of wrestling history. We see Darby Allin on his skateboard, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 style, skate down the ramp and clothesline Chris Jericho. That was the slyest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. It will be remembered for all of eternity. If anything you remember Darby Allin for, it was him skating down the ramp to clothesline Chris Jericho. If he does not use a skateboard in their match next week, I'll be highly disappointed. He hits Chris Jericho. They start going at it for a bit. He gets in the ring. He stands out the Elite. And that's how the show goes off air. Good show. Good show. Which show I think was better between the two? While I think that AEW had like the better Uh, do I want to say they had the better appeal? Like, I feel like the show was a little bit more easier to digest. It might have been that because I had AEW on my TV and I was pacing to that more. But I think that NXT was the better show this week. The matches they had better matches. And I'm not saying there are any bad matches on AEW. As I said, AEW had the best match of both of them. But they had, the opening match was good. I thought the second match was good. I thought there was a really good squash between Rhea Ripley and Aaliyah. I did like Isaiah Scott and Roderick Strong. The main event was good. Dakota Kai and Bianca Good was for what it was worth. Like, consistently, they had better matches. And the pacing of the show was just a little bit more fluid than AEW, which I felt like the middle of AEW was just kind of, if you missed it, whatever. But anyway, yeah, above all, I thought that NXT won this week. So the winner of week 2 for me is NXT. And that was my Wednesday Night War review. What did you guys think? Comment down below. Let me know what show did you think was better. I love you guys always, and I will talk to you all later. Peace out, guys.